Miyamoto Musashi, sword saint of all Japan. Born in the Harima province, Musashi was trained in the art of ancient Japanese weapon by his father. At age only 13, he faced the first opponent of his life, Kihei. Kihei was a swordsman who encountered Musashi. Eager to test himself, Musashi charged Kihei and struck him with his cane to challenge him to a duel. Kihei responded with a slash of his sword. Musashi tackled Kihei to floor and beat Kihei to death with his cane. After this, Musashi traveled throughout Japan to engage in more and more duels. Not long after, Musashi was granted the title Unrivaled Under Heaven. It was here that some of his most legendary duels began. Soon after, Musashi went on to challenge Yoshioka Seijiro, the master of the Yoshioka fighting school, to a duel. But Musashi is more cunning opponent than Yoshi Seijiro anticipated. Using the customs of the day as his advantage, Musashi deliberately arrived late to the duel, causing Seijiro to lose his composure. When the duel began, Musashi struck swiftly, striking his angry opponent on the left shoulder, knocking him out, and crippling his left arm. With the leadership of the school now passing on to Yoshioka Denshikairo, an equally deadly swordsman, Musashi was immediately challenged to the duel in order to avenge his defeated master and restore honor to the school. Musashi eagerly accepted. The duel took place in Kyoto. Denshikairo arrived wielding a long staff reinforced with steel and prepared to kill disrespectful Musashi. But he had not learned from his former master mistakes. Arriving late once again, Musashi threw his opponent into a rage. Within a minute, Musashi took advantage of poor composure, disarmed Denshikairo, defeated and disgraced the Yoshioka family name. With the leadership now falling to a 12-year-old boy named Yoshioka Denshikairo, the school plotted an assassination plan to end Musashi's life, assembled a small band of swordsmen, archers, and even musketeers, and challenged Musashi in another duel. Waited for him to arrive late, but Musashi had done something completely unexpected. He has arrived early! Hiding in the nearby bushes, Musashi sprung into the middle of his opponent and ferociously attacked Denshikairo. The boy was immediately slain, and Musashi escaped. Defending himself against archers, musketeers, and pursuing swordsmen, Musashi drew his second swords to defend himself. It was here that he invented his own unique style of samurai fighting called Nai Nikaiyu, fighting with two swords! After fighting over 60 duels and never once testing defeated, there is one opponent who is thought to be an equal if not superior to Musashi. Sasaki Kajiro, the demon of the western provinces. Sasaki is perhaps the most ferocious warrior of his time. He was viewed as the opposite of Musashi, composed and respectful. He wielded Nadachi, a huge Japanese sword which is much heavier than the normal Japanese sword. Despite this, Sasaki was said to wield it with an unnatural speed and power. The duel was arranged on the island of Funajima. Sasaki awaited for his opponent. Arriving late on his boat, Musashi arrived on the beach with an unkempt disrespectful that outraged Sasaki. Sasaki drew his enormous sword and prepared to fight, only to be met with Musashi's weapon, a wooden sword that he had carved from the hull of his boat, one that was just as long as Sasaki. The fight began within seconds. Sasaki had struck, but when his blow came down, Musashi was not there. He was standing to his side. Then all of a sudden, Sasaki felt himself stumble back, then fall to the ground. But soon as back, within second he was dead. Musashi hit Sasaki with the wooden sword, splitting his skull and smashed into his chest, shattering his ribs. Some said Musashi has used the sun to blind Sasaki, and the tide to help him escape from Sasaki's vengeful students. Later in life, when Musashi retired to a cave, embraced his Buddhism roots and wrote the Book of the Five Rings, one of the most famous and influential books on strategy and philosophy ever written.